drivers, welcome back to Haptic Garage, where we focus on the challenges of the hobby mechanic with the right techniques, approach, and reasons to keep the project alive and drive the dream. Today was supposed to be the day. I'm a week and a half into garage vacation and I've worked on everything else except Dweezil. And all the parts still sit here unsandblasted and unpainted. We have made zero progress on Dweezil. Let's see, we had the hurricane, we had to replace a part on the RV, we've had stuff to do at work, yes, even on vacation, that's just how it goes. Today I was gonna have lunch with a friend at a nice seafood place and that fell through, and then we were gonna get started on this and I ended up with a plumbing leak in the house. I've gotta fix this or else I'm gonna have bigger problems. So I'm sure that you can relate to this in some way. We've said before that it seems like everything competes with garage time, and I'm definitely experiencing that right now. What I suggest is that you maintain balance and make the best of it. Something like this. I was pretty set on getting some seafood today, so we're waiting on a to-go order. Then we'll head over to the hardware store and get the parts that we need for that plumbing issue. What you think there, Tiggles? We got stuff, Tiggy. Is that all right? Would you like to inspect? Yeah. Okay, I think it passed. Okay. You know how these things go. I got everything that I thought I could possibly need, except for the thing that I'm gonna need. We'll figure that out when we get back to the house and start putting this together, right? Doesn't seem to care. How's this for a point of no return? We've cut out the offending piece here. I don't know if any of y'all have done plumbing before, but it's not my favorite thing. This pipe goes into the slab, so I need to be real careful here, but I think a shark bite is gonna do the trick for me. We'll be patched up in no time and have a new main cutoff valve. Ta-da! Okay, here's the moment of truth. I've turned on the main at the street, so I got pressure up to this point. Let's see how the rest of it holds. Nothing's spraying, that's good. This is the one that I'm the most curious about. We'll see if we get any weeping down here. So far, so good, folks. I think I'm ready to move on to the garage. Okay, now we can do a little bit of work on the car. Today might be a good day to wash the RV. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I mentioned the roof the other day. Here's what we're facing. It's structurally in great shape because it's all aluminum. But the paint that we applied a number of years ago is all used up. The Florida sun has just killed it. And even the paint that was under that has flaked off in places. So this needs to be resolved before we can do any solar project. That'll involve sanding all of this down nice and smooth, giving it a good coat of paint, and then going from there. But that's kind of where we stand with this part of the project. No time for that today. We're going to wash all of it, wax the rest of it, and then move on to other things. I'm gonna wait until the sun slips behind those trees before I wax this side, but in the meantime, there's something inside that I've been meaning to do, so we'll knock that out. The interior really just needs to be gutted and replaced, which will actually be kind of fun, if not an enormous project. Until then, this is the grossest part, right next to the stove. This wallpaper was half torn off. I'm gonna tear it the rest of the way off and paint the wall behind it, and that'll be a little bit more presentable. Okay, that's not as gross as it used to be. We'll come back after we get done waxing to put on another coat. Always nice to have this done. It's kind of a big job. We have at least an hour before we can recoat this wall here, so I'm going to take the time to make some dinner and maybe clean some other things up. I have some work to do in the back of the RV and also need to get the workbench cleaned off, so we got plenty to do while we're waiting for paint to dry. It's gonna feel really good to get this mess cleaned up. We were on generator power the last time we did any work in here. This will also give me a chance to give you a taste of where we are now and what's coming in the near future. So let's take a look. Okay, we've got it just clean enough that we can make it noticeably messier, and that is just right. Let me show you what we've got going on here. This stuff, it's a mishmash of many things, including the base plate for the tow bar setup, headlight buckets back there, bumper parts, all kinds of stuff, all ready for paint, including the driver's side door. The passenger side door has had a lot of work done to it, a little bit of rust repair down here. I'm not sure if this is as good as I can get it or not. I might keep playing with this a little bit. I do have a new mystery toy in this box that may help me with that. It may also help me make things worse. So we might play with that a little bit. Still figuring out what I'm going to do with the vent wing windows. I know I want to use them. They will be installed. I have the rivets that we need to replace the pivot points and stuff. Not sure if I want to dive into that, but we might play with that a little bit. Here's kind of a fun project that's coming up. We're going to retrofit these old fog lamps. I have a pair of these with LED lamps. I had these sitting around for a long time and just haven't done anything with them. So we're going to cut them down, replace some old crusty parts from inside these fog lamps with new sheet metal, make some gaskets, and have some pretty cool LED fog lamps for the front of Dweezil. Got a bunch of parts organized here, a little bit of stuff to do. Got some headlight parts here, hinge pin refurbishment. We've been using some oversized hinge pins on the doors, a little bit more of that to go. Have all the hardware for the base plate. There was kind of a large amount of bolts and so on that we needed for that project. And then finally, the windshield wiper. This is getting a big refurbish as well. I've already cleaned this up a bit, but I want to re-grease the gears inside, and we'll need to make a new gasket, so we have some gasket paper for that. In short, we're supplied for what we have ahead of us. Now I think we've cleared the table and we can start working on these things. The biggest resource is, of course, time, and we've grabbed it, so stay tuned for that. I need to get back out there, finish up the RV, and then we can move on with our process. If you want to see more of the Mosey home, there's a pretty cool video from a few years ago where we went up to the Concours de Limons in Amelia Island, Georgia, and I got to interview the head gasket of that spoof car show. If you haven't heard of these guys, you got to check them out. Then we went down the coast and did a little bit of riding during Bike Week, so check it out. I'm going to do some editing tonight and maybe a third coat tomorrow morning. I'll see you in the next video.